This is Volusia Today, a public information radio program brought to you by the County of Volusia.
Good morning, Volusia County. My name is Michael Ryan, and you're listening to Volusia Today. And I'm sitting here with my co-host, Maggie and Clayton. Good morning, Clayton. How are you doing?
Could not be doing any better. How about you?
You were so cheery every radio show.
It's the Red Bull in me.
it's the Red Bull in me. I'm good. Maggie, how about you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Do you have big plans for the weekend?
I do. I'm actually going to pick up my wedding dress this weekend.
Oh,
All
nice.
right.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know that we knew you actually picked a wedding dress out.
Yeah, it was the second dress I tried on. Yep.
I don't know if I remember that was the final decision. Good for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they had to special order it because I didn't fit the size in the shop. They only carry one size for try-ons. So they had to special order my dress, so I'm going to pick it up tomorrow.
It came from Italy, didn't it?
No, I have no idea where it came from. I didn't ask that many questions. But
It came from Palatka?
maybe. Yeah, you never know. Hand sewn.
So what is, you have the dress and you have the place. Mm-hmm. What's the next big decision?
Well, we're doing bridesmaid dresses right now, which is kind of complicated. You have to pick something that suits everybody in your bridal party. So I decided to do mismatched bridesmaid dresses.
Yeah.
So normally the big thing for a while was you'd pick one color and then everybody would pick a different style. They'd pick whatever they wanted.
Yeah,
so someone could do, strapless, and someone could do halter top. But instead of doing that, I couldn't decide between the colors green or yellow. Those are my two favorite colors. So I decided to do both. So we're doing floral dresses. So some people will be in a floral yellow dress. Some people will be floral green.
That's cute.
Some people will just be flat green. Some people will be a flat yellow, and kind of have a little bit of the fun. And then they get to pick their own dress, and it'll be a little bit more fun.
So does your fiance get to pick out his attire, or he gets to pick it out?
He gets to pick
with
it.
your approval.
Yeah.
Okay,
the only thing
and
that
her mom's approving. You know her mom is approving.
Yeah, the only thing I was worried about with him picking a suit is that he was going to do black, which honestly I wouldn't be mad if he did black, but sometimes black can be a little harsh, especially with the yellow. I feel we might end up looking a little
bumblebee wedding.
Yeah, so I'm hoping he goes a little bit more subtle, a tan or something.
That's probably a good thing you're going, because I would have picked out the Dumb and Dumber tuxedos and stuff. All of it. My jokester, prankster personality, I would have absolutely went for it.
Oh gosh, no. Fingers crossed he doesn't do that.
I just went to a wedding in the Bahamas, and which was great. It was the Bahamas, right? We were at a very nice resort there and stuff, but it was the most rushed vacation I've ever had, because we were always having to go somewhere for something. That we had to go to the opening reception, and then the lunch, and then the cabanas, and whatever it was. There was always somewhere we had to be. So in between, we just kind of rested and didn't really get to enjoy it that much. I will tell you this: they had fireworks over the bay.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that was really, really cool, and they played it to Katy Perry's fireworks. Cliche, but okay, it worked. It actually worked. It was nice.
Oh my
and then
gosh.
I'm sorry, Weston and Cambria, if you ever listen. And then they had flamingos parade through the whole reception.
Oh.
We were making fun of them for it and stuff, but I gotta be honest with you, the flamingos were pretty cool. I didn't hate them.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So for our next groundbreaking ceremony,
flamingos.
Can we have flamingos?
Yes.
Flamingos.
Yeah.
I love that
We'll
idea.
see if that's in the budget.
Clay, do you even remember your wedding?
Yes.
Was that like 37 years ago or something?
It was about 12 years ago. I remember. I took it all in, took it slow. So,
All right, Maggie, we're going to test this. What color was your wife's dress?
It was, it was white. My wife's dress. The bridesmaids were a deep maroon.
Okay.
There's some fancy girl term for the color. I just call it deep.
Deep maroon?
I just said
deep maroon is a fancy girl.
That's the best way I could explain it.
I'm assuming it was burgundy, but...
I just said deep maroon.
All right, well, as fascinating as this is, let's maybe talk about a little bit of county stuff. Good luck with that wedding. We'll talk about it again, I'm sure, next week.
Yeah, thanks.
Clayton, what do we got going on? Actually, you know what? Can I go first?
Yeah, absolutely. You're the boss.
I'm so excited. I started this week at the Ocean Center at the Burt Kreischer Show.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and it was, I've seen a comedian here or there, but I've never seen 7 or 8 in a row or whatever it was. And it was just 30-minute set after 30-minute set after 30-minute set. It was well done, well attended. Last number I saw was about 7,000 people.
Oh, wow.
So not a sellout, but it was a packed house for sure. And it was great to see the Ocean Center up and running in that capacity. I'd never been there for anything for a public event like that. So it's a good idea. Keep an eye on the website, because we have a lot more events coming. There are a couple bands. Somebody told me about a couple bands yesterday that they're looking at. So some more music, and maybe a little more comedy on the way too.
Nice. All right. Also, not this weekend, but next weekend, the Ocean Center's hosting the CEO Gaming Championships.
Yes.
And that's pretty cool. Again, I used to be a gamer back in the day.
No.
But, well, yeah. Hey,
Shocker.
I grew up in the 2000s.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
But one thing that piqued my interest is they're actually going to be doing like a 24/7 arcade where people can go in at all hours of the night. There's a big arcade there.
Dude.
I think Maggie
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I think Maggie and I are going to try to go next Friday after the show.
Yeah.
Get some footage of showing us there, put on social media. I think that'd be really cool to show everything because, again, I'm not into the new stuff, but again, like growing up playing Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter 2, all that stuff. Some Halo in college here and there. But I never got into the Call of Duty, but all those games, I mean, I saw videos of previous events they did. It's actually pretty wild, so it seems cool.
Maggie, I understood about 1/3 of what he said. Did you understand anything he just said?
To an extent. I'm not a gamer by any means. I've
Your
tried.
husband is,
Not really. He
No?
plays like one or two. But I've tried. They're like, "Oh, play with me," and I pick it up. I'm like, "Which button is which? What am I doing?" And I end up like accidentally killing myself in the game every time. I'm like, "Well, I didn't mean to do that," and blew myself up. So. Not much.
We have an Oculus. We have a couple Oculuses, and we play with. I'll play this. It's almost like a Fortnite game with the 9-year-old, and I'm playing with the 9-year-old, his squeaky little voice and stuff. And so we go in there and Fortnite it up and all that stuff. But one day we turned the microphones on, and I figured out the people that we were playing against and we were beating up and we were just winning every game. They were like 5-year-olds, and like there's not an adult playing that game. And my wife walked through and she could hear the little kids and stuff. And I tell you what, their language. Those little kids they have a different upbringing than me. So finally with the 9-year-old, I had to turn off the microphones because he was learning too much from the other kids and stuff. But that's about the only thing I play. But I tell you what, if there were a 24-hour arcade, bro.
That's what we're going to go to see what all games they got and all that, and we're going to push that out for the community, let them know, hey, this is what's going on. If you wake up at 2:30 middle of the night and wife and kids are asleep, hey, just sneak out, just make sure to bring some coffee back home to them.
Coffee, dude. I'm going to swing by your house with some Doritos and 2 of those huge Red Bulls.
We'll be ready to rock and roll.
But that's Clayton, I'm glad you brought that up because that's just another good example of what's going on at the Ocean Center. And the council has asked us to start bringing in more community-wide events, and we've had a couple comedians, some music's coming, and stuff like that. The rodeo, the Globetrotters, the whole 8 seconds to whatever that bull riding thing.
It's like a glow monster truck.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of stuff going on at the Ocean Center. If you get a chance, go check it out, and you can find their website at. Where is that at, Clayton?
Oceancenter.com?
Is it Ocean Center? Is it that easy?
Yep.
Oceancenter.com. Go check it out because there's big stuff coming. What else you got, Clayton?
Well, Maggie, I'll let you take the lead on this just because you were instrumental in putting on an extremely important groundbreaking ceremony. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we had a groundbreaking ceremony yesterday for the Veterans Memorial Plaza. Both you guys were there. It's pretty cool. It's in a pretty cool location. It's at the bottom of the Veterans Memorial Bridge over there. It's pretty cool. They're setting up some different monuments and stuff. There'll be amphitheater seating. They'll have a 6-foot fire feature monument with the plaques. There'll be like plaques along the side of it with all the names of the fallen veterans from Volusia County, which is pretty cool. It's specifically honoring Volusia County veterans. And then they'll also have some flags and different plaques that represent each of the branches of the military. So it's going to be a really awesome place for people to be able to come and just remember and honor those veterans and those people who have served. They even have some personalized bricks that they're selling, which is pretty cool. So at the front of the monument, if you're interested, you can go and get a personalized brick and you can get it engraved with the veteran's name to be placed at the front of the plaza. Those are still available. So if you visit VolusiaVeterans.com, you can go get that done. But the ceremony itself was super cool. We had some pretty cool speakers there, multiple of our council members. We had one of the judges from the courthouse that's right there come and speak, who's a veteran court judge, which was pretty interesting. And it was a really cool time. It was really interesting to just hear about how long this has been in a process for them. I mean, it's been years, and now it's finally coming to fruition. So it's been pretty cool.
Yeah, for of our listeners out there who are curious, hey, what's this going to look like? They could go to our homepage, volusia.org, and they could see like a little rendering there in the homepage. They could click learn more and pretty much just go in a little bit more detail about what you're saying. Yeah. And also, there's if you want to see some of what happened yesterday at the ceremony, just check out our social media pages. We put together about a minute and a half video yesterday showing some of the footage. There's also renderings in the video of it. So overall, really well done. You did an excellent job putting that on.
Thank you. It's not without y'all's help, so thank you guys.
I tell you, Maggie, for me, being at that ceremony yesterday really hit home listening to the speakers. My father served. He served in Vietnam before I was even born. So I did not serve. So I honor his service, but it was before I was born. So we were not necessarily a military family. So for me to be there yesterday and hear the speakers talk about how important this was to them, and the purpose it will serve for future generations was amazing. And the location is I didn't understand the location until we walked on site yesterday.
Oh yeah.
And being able to see it as you go over the bridge, if if you can't go stop. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful asset for the community and stuff. And being right next to the courthouse, there's all kinds of parking, and it's right on the water. I mean, it really is a great location.
Yeah, it definitely is. And you're completely right about it coming over the bridge. I mean, the first time I went, I got a little lost on the way because I was like, where the heck am I? I don't head over that direction very often. But when I showed up, you pull through the courthouse, then you go back there. It's back kind of behind it. And you don't really expect it to be as beautiful as it is. And then you pull up and you're like, oh my gosh, this is a beautiful spot. It's on the water.
Boats going by.
Yeah.
Well, and that's a nice thing too, because waterfront real estate, it's prime, right? And so for us to be able to dedicate this particular piece of property to this particular purpose is really kind of gives you hope in humanity again. You know what I mean? Because it could easily be condos or a restaurant or bar or something like that.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's a good thing, and it's a great combination of it's a partnership between Volusia County, the private donations, and the land, and all that stuff. So it's a good example of the community coming together for a common purpose.
Yeah, it definitely was, and it was cool to see all the community members there and how excited they are for it as well.
A lot of important people in that audience.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can tell that, and that really does show you how important it is to the community. Well, I tell you what, let's take a break and we'll come back and talk about what else is going on.
Subscribe to the Volusia County YouTube channel.
And hit the bell icon to know what's happening in your hometown.
There are so many great places to explore.
And things to learn.
With over 1,000 videos available right now, the channel offers something for everyone.
Let's go!
Did you know we have countless features showcasing history, nature, wildlife, and recreation? Subscribe and hit the bell icon.
Or that we live stream important county meetings and workshops where leaders make decisions that can impact our everyday lives. Did you subscribe yet?
Or that we record our weekly radio show, Volusia Today, where we interview staff from the different divisions and departments across our great county, and they discuss the nitty-gritty of their field and expertise.
Go ahead, subscribe.
But that's not it. There's more. Subscribe and hit the bell icon and fully explore.
Score!
We're back with more Volusia Today. This is Clayton Jackson along with Michael Ryan and Maggie Hessler. So to kind of pick up a little bit, the Volusia County Council on Tuesday, they actually approved some route adjustments for our public transit division, VOTRAN. And most of the impacts will actually be on the west side of the county. There are a few just minor adjustments to timing and where they turn and all that, but there's actually about 3 or 4 routes that will actually no longer be in service come July 1st. And what our staff has done, they've been riding the buses, they've been putting flyers on the buses to educate the people who ride those buses or those routes. But the changes, so they know what's on July 1st, they're not going to be going around anymore. However, they've been informing them about VoRide, the new rideshare initiative through Volusia County, which is very, very affordable. I think that last I heard a few weeks ago that there's almost 6,000 registered users on the VoRide app.
Wow.
They've actually provided more than 26,000 trips already with more than 3,000 reviews The average rating is a 4.8 out of 5 star.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is great. So definitely this will plug for Volride. But sorry, I get sidetracked sometimes. Where I was going to that is those residents. Yeah, me get sidetracked. But where I was going to that is those residents who utilize those routes that will be disbanded come July 1st. They can use Volride. It's very convenient. If there's other transportation methods, they're informing them about that. Again, all that information about everything that's going to be impacted come July 1st is available on our website. It's actually on the homepage, volusia.org. Look at that. Click the Learn More button. You'll see everything that's going on there with Votran and Volride.
Clayton, those Volride numbers are pretty amazing. It's not even been out that long.
Actually, Spectrum 13, they did a little ride-along with them last week, and they actually published an article and a video about the user experience. They actually interviewed a couple of riders utilizing it. It's a very well-done article. People talking about how used to, they'd use some more traditional rideshare initiatives. They could only go out a couple of times a week just because of the sheer cost.
Right.
And they tried to lump everything they could, numerous trips into one. And the residents talking about, hey, now because it's so affordable, I can go out numerous times. I can go visit friends more. Right. So it's very well done. So Jerry, if you're listening, he was the reporter who covered that. That was an excellent job. And again, we're just here to promote the services. It's available in DeLand, DeBerry, Deltona, and Orange City.
Clayton, for those of us who don't listen to the show, including me very often, tell me, like in one sentence, what is Volride?
Volride, it's an affordable rideshare initiative through the County of Volusia. Now, it's a little bit different than the traditional. It's not you get picked up at your home and you go directly to, like, if you're going to grocery shop in Walmart. It's not, it could be, but most of the time it's not a direct point A to B. You could get picked up at your home, and then they may make a side trip and pick up somebody else who's also needing to go around the same area. So if you value, convenient or affordability, that is the perfect thing. It's $2 a flat ride right now.
Maggie, I love to ask Clayton to describe things in one sentence and then count the actual number of sentences that occur after that.
That's
because it's never one.
I have to give the full detail.
It's always in the 6 to 7 range somewhere. That it really is a great service, man. And it's we don't use the U word in comparison to it, but it really is like a cheaper, better version, a Volusia County version of Uber. And, at some point, Uber was like the brand new thing. It was super cool, and it was cheaper than cabs and all that stuff. But Volride really, at least if you're in this area, is an amazing service. And think of all the things, Maggie, you know this in your short amount of time here. Think of all the services we offer, and some of them are, highly used. Some of them people don't even know. Clayton's mosquito fish, right?
That is cool.
That is a pretty cool thing. And people don't know about it, right? Mm-hmm. So, but Volride took off, pun intended, and
they hit the gas.
It hit the gas, yeah. They are not pumping the brakes at all on Volride. And it is only growing. It really is an amazing service that sometimes government gets it right, sometimes government gets it okay. On this one, we knocked it out of the park, I think.
Yes, and Volride is fairly safe as well. I mean, I know there's been some stuff recently in the news about Ubers and rideshares that can be a little bit dangerous.
Absolutely. Like we have a contract with VIA, who provides the vehicles and the staff. All of them go through level 2 background screens that have a clean driving record, so everybody is completely safe. These are vetted employees who are contractor with a level 2 background screen.
Yeah, so and I think that's so crucial for the public to know. Yeah. It's safe. It's safe for you to get in. It's safe for your daughter to get in, your son, and to know you're going to get there safely.
And the vans are pretty sharp looking.
They are. They look nice.
I do, and I see them everywhere. They're everywhere. So, Maggie, what do you have going on? I know there's a bunch of stuff out in your world, in like the tree hugger world that you live in.
Yeah, we do have some exciting stuff going on. I mean, I am a little bit of a tree hugger, which I'll give it to you, but we do have some exciting news. The Volusia County Council approved the purchase of over 2,000 acres of land adjacent to the Indian River Lagoon, which is really exciting. That happened in the council meeting on June 18th, so this past Tuesday. It's a really cool piece of land. It basically runs into the Indian River Lagoon, and so getting this piece of land is really crucial for us because it allows us to basically improve the water quality that goes into that lagoon, which has been a big mission for us. And it'll allow, for that lagoon to not only, look cleaner and be nicer, but it'll also, serve as a refuge for all those species to come and have that clean water to swim in and, be able to produce and we'll have more fish for people to catch and return, or whatever you may do with it. So that's really exciting. But not only that, the property, I don't know if you guys have heard, but the property is a pretty significant historically property. It was previously owned by the Stewart family, who had a pretty big history in Volusia County, which is pretty interesting to learn about. I did a pretty big deep dive into it. But the family throughout the years has, served on county councils. The first owner of the property was actually the first attorney in DeLand, which is kind of interesting. He represented Henry A. DeLand in John B. Stetson, which as a Hatter, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah, and one of the daughters was the first lawyer in the state of Florida. So there's some really significant history there. So we're really excited to not only preserve the land, but also preserve that family's legacy there as well.
Like, help me understand too. We talked a little bit yesterday out there about how this land was purchased, like literally the funding part of it.
Yeah.
Help me understand that.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing, but so we're going to be spending about $4.7 million on the land to buy these parcels of land. It's essentially split into 3 different parcels. One of the parcels is 2,000 acres, and that 2,000 acre property is going to be bought following our purchase. The Florida Department of Environmental Protection agreed to purchase it back from us. So then it'll be owned by the state. It'll still be regulated by us, so it'll still be Volusia Forever land, but we essentially get a refund. We get a reimbursement for that property, and we're still able to continue to conserve it. So that's money that now gets put back into the Volusia Forever program that we can go now buy more conservation land with.
Well, and I think that's an important message for all of us to understand about Volusia Forever, is that land is being preserved in some sort of trust, or whatever the legal term is, for eternity, right?
Yep.
In perpetuity. And so a lot of we talked a little bit about it. A lot of families are concerned about their property,
yep.
right? And if they sell it, and their family legacy, and what will happen. And this shows that if you work with Volusia Forever, that it could potentially be preserved forever, and not turn into a condo, and not turn into a grocery store, or whatever that could be. And especially with this property, because it's so environmentally sensitive.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not potentially, it's guaranteed. No one will ever touch that land. Yeah. I know there's been some cool conversation about what's features on the land, and to be honest, I really don't know, and I'm excited to kind of see what they find out there.
Oh yeah, you've not been out there yet?
No, I haven't been to the land itself. I've seen the videos. It looks beautiful. It's a very tree heavy area, but they said that there's some wetlands in there, so there might be some opportunity for some water, but I don't know that for sure.
And this was the largest Volusia Forever purchase ever?
Yeah, the largest acquisition to date. So we're really excited about it.
Yeah, that's a big deal. I tell you what, let's take our last break, and when we come back, we can talk about more of all that natural stuff you like to talk about.
Thanks.
Bye.
We are Volusia County Beach Safety. We're here to serve Volusia County's 47 miles of unique coastline. You know, Volusia County beaches. Yeah, those beaches. But also these beaches. We have millions of visitors every year, and we work around the clock to keep our beaches safe and beautiful. And you can help.
Swim near a staff lifeguard tower.
Pick up your trash. And fill holes. Identify, avoid, and escape rip currents.
Please leave the beach cleaner than you found it.
There we go. Look out for one another and keep an eye on kids, especially near the traffic lane and in the water.
Pets are allowed at our 2 pet-friendly beaches, Lighthouse Point Park and Smyrna Dunes Park.
If you see something, say something.
A clean and safe beach guarantees fun in the sun for everyone. Thank you for doing your part to keep Volusia County beaches beautiful. See you at the beach!
Make the most of your day at the beach. Download the Volusia County Beaches app today. Sign up for real-time notifications on vehicle ramp openings and closings. Find staffed lifeguard towers. Get updates on tides and beach conditions, plus off-beach parking and coastal parks info. Volusia County Beaches app is available for your smart devices at the App Store and Google Play.
Welcome back to Volusia Today. My name is Michael Ryan, and you are listening to Volusia County's one and only trusted source for local news. And I'm joined today by my co-host Maggie and Clayton, and we're talking all things Volusia County. So Maggie, before we went off the air for the break, we were talking about Volusia County's, or Volusia Forever's largest acquisition, right?
Yep.
I know there's some other stuff going on out in the woods where you like to hang out, right?
You're full today.
There's some paddles and some other adventures. What else is going on out there with Green Volusia?
You make me sound like I'm like a woodland fairy.
Just
well, that's
go on
I almost spit out my Red Bull on that.
Don't you see that's what she does? You work in the garden all weekend, don't you?
I do.
I knew it.
I do love being in the garden.
Do you grow your own herbs?
I do.
Yes,
I do.
of course.
Yeah, we've got all sorts of stuff out there. If you guys ever need anything, just let me know.
But here's the true sign, right? Do you make your own soap?
I don't make my own soap. I have tried.
You thought about it. That's it. I knew it.
I have tried before, but it's a lot. It's a lot to do that. I do make my own laundry detergent, though.
Oh my God!
Okay,
oh my God! You crossed the line.
But no, we do have some exciting stuff going on. There are some events coming up this weekend, or not weekend, week. Explore Volusia has 2 different events happening next week. They're doing a St. John's River paddle on Tuesday, June 25th from 9 to 11 a.m. in Hickory Bluff Preserve in Osteen, which if you haven't done the river paddles, they're pretty cool. They take you through. Tommy Nordman, who is the director of Explore Volusia, knows so much about the waterways, and so he'll teach you all sorts of stuff about it. And then they also have an aquatic animal dip net adventure happening on Thursday, June 27th from 8 to 10:30 a.m. at Doris Sleeper, Spruce Creek Preserve in New Smyrna Beach, which Doris Sleeper is beautiful. If you've never been, I highly recommend going, especially going through and doing the aquatic animal dip net adventure. I imagine you get to see all sorts of cool stuff, and it kind of gets thrown in the bunch of like, what are you going to get with the dip net adventure, because they essentially are studying the marine life, so you get to go learn all about the marine life there with Tommy. So I highly recommend. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool experience. Can you pull up a shark?
Yeah, they're sharks, right?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
I hope not. I mean, there's a lot of sharks right now, but like, I don't know.
Right now, there's a lot of sharks right now. I'm sorry.
Pretty sure it's like mating season, but I don't know that for sure. But yeah, so that's what's going on with Explore Volusia, and then Be Floridian Now next month is doing a pop-up shop and workshops about native plants on July 27th. So make sure to check that out. They're doing that at Berry Hall, and that will be a pretty cool event.
So, Clayton, as beautiful as Maggie's life out in the woods is, we count on you to bring us a little bit of dose of reality.
Well, the doom and gloom.
The doom and gloom. Yeah. So let's end on a really dreary note. It's hurricane season.
It is.
What do we need to know about that?
Well, the tropics are starting to pick up a little bit.
Right.
There's something out there right now. Last I heard, don't think anything's going to really impact us. Just beware that the rip currents are really bad right now.
Yep.
So we're recommending, don't go into the water, in certain areas. But if you do decide to enter the water, make sure, I can't say this enough, make sure to always swim in front of a staff lifeguard tower.
Yeah.
You can find where they're at the Volusia Beaches app. Again, we can't stress that enough. Swim from them. I was actually talking to Clint Meekum, our emergency management director, the other day, and I said, hey, we put out a lot of hurricane prep stuff already. What else can we put out? And he actually brought up a good point that make sure this is the time to start taking pictures of your property. For insurance purposes.
That's a good point.
Oh, that's a good
make
idea.
sure to take pictures of the outside of your house, exterior. If you have a pool cage, make sure you get all those pictures. He said you can't have enough pictures.
Maggie, get a picture of that wedding dress.
Well, that's actually a good point. He said that he goes, a lot of people, they make a mistake. They just take the exterior of their home.
Right.
But then if something happens like flooding or anything like that, then they're like, hey, I lost the TV or I lost all these valuables inside, and they have to have that for insurance.
Right.
So this is the time to go ahead and start preparing, taking those pictures. And also, even though it's raining out now, it's sprinkling it off and on, but the burn ban is still in effect. Just be watching our website, volusia.org, because if the burn ban is rescinded, we will be kicking that out to the media, social media, and on our website. So if we do rescind it, we will get that word out to everybody.
Yeah, let's hope this rain brings us a little bit of relief on that.
Oh, yeah.
I know there was a wildfire, is probably the right term, close to my house in Port Orange, like in the middle of, suburbia. And it was close enough for me to make a couple phone calls and make sure we're okay. So it's good to see the rain coming. Hopefully that burn ban will be lifted pretty soon.
I mean, that's all really like the doom and gloom I got right now. So that's good.
Well, it is hurricane season. I think everybody needs to be cognizant of that. We do have a little bit of rain, but I think it's going to be probably a pretty decent weekend. So we talked about Maggie's plans. What are you doing this weekend, Clayton?
I have a kid and wife-free weekend. They're up visiting the in-laws. So I'm going to relax tonight and tomorrow, and then probably knock out all the honey-do list Sunday evening.
Yes.
That's the typical man stuff right there.
I have to rub a little salt in the wound. I'm doing something very similar. I'm going to the Red Hot Chili Peppers Ice Cube concert tonight.
Ooh.
Yes, I'm so stoked about seeing Ice Cube. I cannot wait.
That is awesome.
Like, I was going to a Red Hot Chili Peppers concert, and Ice Cube just happened to be there. So you guys have a great weekend. Think about Maggie and her wedding and me in Tampa. Have a great weekend, Clayton.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.